Hello and welcome. Today we're going to go through an intermediate vinyasa sequence focusing on leg strength and balance. We'll begin with a big inhale, bringing your hands up to the sky. And as we exhale, we'll sink our hips back and down into chair pose. On the inhale breath, straightening up to a slight chest lift, and as we exhale, hinging at our waist into forward fold, planting our hands on either side of our feet. Inhale, send our right foot back. As we exhale, we'll sit here in runner's lunge for a second. Inhale into crescent pose, bringing our hands up to the sky. We'll exhale, bringing our hands on either side of the front leg. On the inhale, sending that leg back to plank. Exhale here, chaturanga, inhaling up into upward facing dog. And as we exhale, we'll come into down dog by tucking our toes under and lifting our hips to the sky. We'll inhale and bring our right leg forward, returning once again to crescent pose. Exhaling, planting our hands on either side. Inhale, walk that back foot forward. Exhale here into forward fold once more. We'll inhale, reverse swan dive up to a standing position, and we'll exhale our hands into our heart center. We'll take one resting breath here, bringing our hands up through our heart center. Exhaling, sending them down by our sides and bringing them back into namaste. We'll inhale our hands down to go up and exhale once more into chair pose, doing that sequence on the other side. We'll inhale, straightening up to a chest lift, and as we exhale, we'll hinge at our waist, bringing our hands down as we come into a forward fold, sending our left leg back this time, exhaling to runner's lunge, inhaling up into crescent pose. As we exhale, we'll drop our hands once more. Inhaling, sending that other leg back into plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, rolling up into upward facing dog, toes pointed, and as we exhale, tucking our toes under, sending our hips up into downward facing dog. Inhale, back into a plank position as we bring our left leg forward. Exhale in runner's lunge. Inhale once more into crescent pose, and as we exhale, we'll drop our hands back once more, inhaling, walking that back leg forward, and exhaling here in forward fold. Inhale and reverse swan dive, touching our hands at the top, and as we exhale, we'll bring our hands back into our heart center. And we'll take a big step back with our right leg, keeping our left leg forward, and we'll inhale our hands up to the sky, turning our hips forward. We'll exhale and sink into warrior one. Staying here for a couple breaths, checking and making sure we can see our toe on the inside of our front knee. You can even add a slight chest lift here if you want. And we'll inhale and straighten our front leg, bringing our hands behind our back, either holding our wrists or reverse namaste. As we inhale, sitting up nice and tall, exhaling and folding forward, hinging, keeping our back nice and straight for 3 breaths here. And on the next exhale, we'll sink down, relaxing our gaze to look at our knee. Hands planted on the ground in head to knee pose. And then on the next inhale, we'll bring our back foot forward a little bit to prep for warrior 3. Inhaling, sitting up nice and tall, exhaling, hinging forward. On the next inhale, bringing our hands forward, or extending our hands forward, pressing our right toes back. And then on an exhale, we'll drop our hands all the way to the ground and lift that right foot as back high as we can in needle pose. Exhale, dropping that foot back down, taking a moment to rest in runner's lunge before walking that foot forward. Exhaling here into forward fold and inhaling, reverse swan dive back to our mountain pose. Do the same thing on the other side, taking a big step back with our left leg, turning our hips forward. And on an inhale breath, bringing our hands up to the sky. Exhale, bending our right leg to come into a warrior one on the other side. Again, we want to check and make sure we can see our big toe on the inside of our knee, and we can even add a slight chest lift if we want. Inhaling, straightening that front leg, and as we exhale, we'll bring our hands behind our back, either grabbing our own elbows or again, reverse namaste. Inhaling, standing up nice and tall, straightening our back. Exhaling, hinging forward as you press your tailbone back. Keeping our back nice and straight here. Every exhale, seeing if we can sink a little deeper into the pose. Until finally we exhale, dropping our hands on either side, coming in head to knee pose. Bringing our gaze to our knee. And then on an inhale breath, We'll bring most of our weight on that front foot, walking that back foot up to prepare for warrior three. Inhaling, lifting up, exhaling, hinging forward, sending our back foot way back behind us as we press our fingertips forward. Staying here for a few breaths, and then exhaling, dropping our hands down to the ground as we lift that left foot up in needle pose. Exhale, dropping the foot back behind us, resting for a moment in runner's lunge. Inhaling, bringing that foot forward, then exhaling here in forward fold on the inhale breath. Slowly reverse swan dive, touching our hands at the top as we exhale, bringing our hands into our heart center. And namaste. Thank you for joining us.